Hello, this is Cynthia Hammond Davis, and I am going to be talking with you about finding money for college. So there was a recent study done by Sallie Mae Corporation, and it said how America pays for college and who pays for college. So as you can tell on this slide, 43% come from the family income and savings, 31% from scholarships and grants, 24% from family borrowing, 2% from friends and family. So you can tell that parent income and savings are the #1 source of funding. So we are going to talk about federal student aid, state student aid that comes from colleges, and scholarships from other sources. So billions of dollars are available from the federal government every year to help families pay for college. So they are in the form that billions of dollars come in the form of 4 different categories. Grants and scholarships that will not have to be paid back. Work study, where students will work and then receive a check for their work. And then the L word, loans. And no one really wants to talk about loans, but over 40 or 50% will be in the form of loans, or can be in the form of loans. So I took this page from the studentaid.ed.gov website, and it basically broke down that $122 billion that's available for families every year. And as you can tell, 91 billion or more were given out in the form of loans. So 92,371,000,000 of that $122 billion was in the form of loans. Grants, 28 billion, and then you can see the rest. So how do you go about getting the federal monies? Well, there is a form that has to be filled out every year your child is in college. So the first year your child is going to college, the student will fill this form out when they are a senior. That's the first time, high school seniors. It is available October 1st for seniors who are in high school. And the website is studentaid.ed.gov/SA/FAFSA, or you can still go to FAFSA.gov for right now, but that will change eventually. They just changed the website's name this year. So this slide shows who are eligible for the financial aid, the federal monies that's available from the federal government. U.S. citizenship or eligible non-citizen. You need a valid Social Security number. Young men will have to sign up for selective service, and then you see the other requirements on the form. So this is the new look of the FAFSA form. So when you go online, you should see this page, this first page, studentaid.ed.gov. Before you can fill out the form, you need to get an FSA ID number. Okay? So when you get this number, do not tell anyone what your FSA ID is, and you make sure to keep your passwords and answers secure. I'll tell you more about that in the next slide. But before I do that, I will say that one parent and the high school senior need an FSA ID number. Again, one parent and the high school senior will need separate FSA ID numbers in order to sign the federal document. After you've completed the FAFSA, there will be a place for you to put in the FSA ID that will be your signature for the online document. Again, you need to get this form the FSA ID before you complete the FAFSA. If you have more than one child in college, parents will only need one FSA ID number for all of their children. So the children will need separate FSA ID numbers. The parent will only need to register one time, and they only need one FSA ID for all of their children. So if you go down the page a bit or up the page on that studentaid.gov website, you will see down at the bottom of the screen of that main page the FSA ID link. So you are going to click on this link, okay? And when you click on that link, you will be on the FSA ID website. So this is what the website looks like for the FSA ID. You will create your FSA ID so by clicking on this link, and then you will be asked quite a few questions and you need to provide the answers. I can tell you that you want to keep your answers in a special place where you will be able to get to them every year, okay? Because you will need this again every year. So when you are doing the FAFSA form, you will see a button eventually in the form when you're filling it out that will connect your FAFSA to your IRS data. So this helps you to accurately, correctly fill out the money and the funds that go into the FAFSA. So it's connecting your FAFSA to your IRS account. If you are with the class, if your student is graduating for the class of 2020, you will use your tax information for 2018. So again, this is a great way to make sure that you're not making mistakes and filling out the wrong, putting in the wrong information in the wrong columns. So when you're in your FAFSA account, you will click the button that says attach or connect my IRS to my FAFSA. Really great way to make sure that you are putting the right information in the right areas. So why do we fill out the FAFSA form, the Federal Student Aid Form? After you put in all of your information, your income, your assets, your savings, on and on, you will receive something called an EFC, the Estimated Family Contribution. And that's basically saying what you may be able to pay for your child's tuition at a minimum per year. It's not the exact amount. That will come from the colleges, but this is just an estimate. So then, the cost of attendance. This is the amount of money that the college is, the total amount of money that the college is charging. So it will include tuition, room, board, book, fees, and more. Okay, so that is the total cost of attendance minus your expected family contribution or estimated contribution. So the cost of attendance minus your expected family contribution, that's what you will pay out of pocket. Whatever the difference is between the two are your need. That's what the college will say that they will meet at a certain percentage, your need. So for example, if the college is $50,000, and this is just an example, which is their total cost of attendance. See the COA, okay, $50,000, COA, cost of attendance. Minus, let's just say that your out-of-pocket expense, after you've created the FAFSA, you come back with the estimated family contribution of $10,000. So, $50,000 is what the college costs. $10,000 is your out-of-pocket expenses coming from you. So your need for this college will be $40,000. So that's what you need to know, what your need is, because the colleges, some will meet this at 50%, some will meet it at 70%, some will meet it at 100%, basically saying we will be able to give you this amount of money for your child's tuition. It all may not be $40,000 of free money, grants, and scholarships. It can be, remember, grants, scholarships, work study, or loans are all of the part of the money that comes from the federal government that may be included in what the college will give you to meet this need. And again, it may not be at 100%. Okay, so it might not be the whole 40,000. It could be less than that. And then that means that the parents would have to pay the rest. Now here are some of the amounts that you can receive from the FAFSA form from the federal government. So low-income students could receive the federal Pell Grant. Now that grant you don't have to pay back. It's up to $6,195, okay? Teach Grant are for students who are who want to be teachers after they've received their education in college. So some colleges will have the Teach Grant available, and it could be up to $4,000, but it may be reduced to $3,562 or a little bit under or over that. Your direct subsidized loan, these are all of the things, remember, that come from the federal government. $3,500 and $2,000. So the federal government will give all students $5,500 in a loan. They break that up in two ways. Subsidized loan can be up to $3,500. Subsidized means that the government is going to pay the interest on the loan while the student is in college. 6 months after the students have graduated, then the interest will start to accrue, or 6 months after the students stop going to college, at least half time. Okay? But the unsubsidized loan, that's interest that will accrue while the student is in college. Now, none of these loans have to be paid back until the student graduates from college, 6 months after they graduate from college, or 6 months after they have stopped going at least half time. So that's important to know. The FSEOG, Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant, is given to low-income students and maybe an additional $4,000. Remember, we talked about federal work study. This money may be available at some colleges for students to work and then receive a check for their employment. The last one that's available is Federal Plus Loan. So the Federal Plus Loan is for parents, and there is an application, and they do check your credit. So if you have any monies left over after you have received the award letters from the college and you have something else to pay and you don't have it, then the Federal Plus Loan may be something that you want to think about taking out to pay the rest of the loan. But we always tell parents not to take out more than you can afford. So this is the amount that is the current interest rate for students, 4.53 in interest. So the interest is 4.53. The interest for parents is 7.08 right now. It's 7.08, and it could be, if it goes up, it's not supposed to go over 10.5. So this is part one, and this is ending now. We will continue in part two of this Finding Money for College. So please click on Finding Money for College, part 2.